can you go wrong with a group like that? Hello again, everybody. Lance Russell with Dave Brown and Corey Macklin ready to go with another big USWA day, and I love it. Good night. The matches alone, plus all of the special things that we've got.
Get ready. Listen to the matches, first of all. We got Brian Lee, prime time in here to go against Scott Studd.
Yes, sir.
That is going to be some kind of match. Let me tell you, the history we'll go over a little bit later on. PG-13 will be here. Dangerous Doug Gilbert will be along a little while from now. Then you got Brickhouse Brown against Brian Christopher, but even that's not the main event. Main event, Gorgeous George III against the King, Jerry Lawler. What a day today.
Oh, yes, it is. It's going to be quite a day, and we have some special guests that I'll guarantee you will make you sit right there and glad you came. USWA Championship Wrestling is going to be a blowout today. Let's not hold it up any longer. We'll take our first break and be back with action for you in a moment. Championship Wrestling, our opening bout today, scheduled for one fall, a 10-minute time limit today. First introducing at 229 pounds from Atlanta, Georgia, here is Scott Studd. Making his way around the ring area, here's Scott Man.
How y'all doing? Boy, I'm excited, I tell you what. I just want to take a chance. I don't get the opportunity all the time to come here and speak to the fans in the morning. But I just want to say hello to all my fans out there. But I also have one other thing I wanted to say. You know, last week I had a great opportunity with Brian Lee. Had an opportunity of a chance time to win the USWA Heavyweight Championship belt. I gave it all I got. I'm making no excuses for what happened. But I'll tell you one thing. I petitioned for a title shot this morning, but Brian Lee would not give me a title shot. I don't know what his deal is, but he just kind of stood off and said, no way. So I'm going to take Brian Lee any way I can get him. So I got him in the opening match here, and you better believe I'm ready for it right now.
Very good.
Baby.
Good luck to you.
Hey, Scott, congratulations on that big elimination win, man.
Yeah.
That was a killer of an effort. And he came through and won the entire shooting match, and he is fired up, ready for the big guy. Corey? Today?
Lance Russell, title shot. He don't deserve a title shot. Title shots in primetime Brian Lee are slim and none. I gave him a shot, he messed up. Now he's just going to get a whipping.
Yeah, he had you worried there for a little while. We'll see what happens. I know.
And I've been cheated here before, and I suspect I'll probably be cheated again. So I'm going to have my personal security guard check this punk out because he's just like Brian Christopher, a cheater. Lawler, Dundee, all of them around here use nothing but chains, pots, pans, sticks, and cans. And I'm telling you what, my boys go get up here and check him out.
Yeah, how about billy clubs and that kind of stuff,
Yeah,
huh, Dave?
collapsible nightsticks and things.
Okay, Corey, best of luck.
Okay, Lance, his opponent led by the head of security for Primetime Incorporated. 287 pounds from Orlando, Florida. It's Primetime Brian Lee. Boy, I can finish the introductions in there, guys.
Oh, my goodness. What a start to USWA Wrestling today. Prime time hammering Scott Studd. Ooh. Scott Studd, to fill the fans in who don't know, won an elimination match to get a shot at Brian Lee and the heavyweight title. He went in there and really things were going well until, well, primetime Brian Lee had other ideas about whether to follow the rule book or not in order to maintain the title.
Well, Brian Lee loves to jump before somebody's ready, and that's what he did to Scott Studd. Studd fought his way back and ended up in a situation where it looked like he might get a pin, might be able to take the title away, and that's when Lee turned to the wall.
Oh, my goodness.
He is so big, all that weight behind that foot, and he nailed Studd right in the head. What's Jimmy Harris doing up on the ring?
He's, Brian Lee's
Now
choking him with
he's
something.
doing up there,
With a piece of tape.
distracting the referee. Yeah, is that what he's got?
I think he's unwrapped a piece of that tape from his wrist and was choking him with that. Now it was a bandana, which he just threw out of the ring now to Jimmy, his bodyguard, head of security. Goes Scott go, says the crowd. Scott is going to have to battle back in this one. He's done it in matches before. Can he do it today against primetime Brian Lee? Hammers him. Brian Lee still on his feet, though, and boom, pops him right back with the right hand. Scott Stud on his feet. Look out. Jimmy Harris.
Again.
Yep, up on the apron again. Whoa! He threw him over the top rope.
Right out of it while Bill Rush was distracted by Jimmy Harris. Threw Scott Stud right over the top rope, and now look at Harris. Nails him right in the lower back and then throws him back in the ring when he thinks he's sufficiently beaten up where he won't be able to give primetime Brian Lee any trouble. Yeah, right by the hair, snapped him over the shoulder. Ooh, clamped that reverse chin lock on him, and he is bearing down. This guy is big. He's another one, Dave, you can look at him until you get up beside him. You don't realize how big this Brian Lee is.
He is big, he is tough. And he's got a face lock on Scott Stud. Scott Stud trying to figure out how to get out of it. Whoa, he did. I think both of them got some damage in that one, though.
Stud making a comeback. Big top kick of beauty. Put him down on the mat. Showing prime time that it's no easy task to take over Scott Stud. He's got plenty of perseverance. Rips with that right hand. The referee's on him. A whip across the ring. As he came in too quick, Brian Lee hit him with a knee. Feet on the rope. 1, 2, 3.
Brian Lee had both feet up on the middle rope, but he was able to use that for extra pressure to hold Scott Stud's shoulders down on the mat. The count of 3, and now the celebrating begins with Jimmy Williams and primetime. Jimmy Williams. Why do you call him Jimmy Williams? Jimmy Harris.
Check and cash it. Money in the bank.
Yeah, we saw the feet on the rope. We're not blind. Referee Bill Rush says restart the match. You're going to hear it. Bell time. The referee convinced that it was absolutely true. He had his feet on the rope. He's getting counted out. At the count of 10, that is going to be it. I don't care how he likes it or dislikes it. When it goes down in the record book, the win will be for Scott Stud. Primetime Brian Lee loses it by count out. We'll take time out and be back. See, you stayed in there, you haven't been able to wrestling.
Well, we're going to continue with action here very shortly, but first I want to talk to the PG-13 team that the fans have come to know and love around the USWA. These guys have, I hear the music. That means they can't be far behind, right? Here they come. J.C. Ice leading the way, and Wolfie D right behind. Saying hello to the crowd as they make their way over here. They are minus something that they, actually we're used to seeing them have, though. I'm talking about the tag team titles. And J.C., Wolfie, we're just talking about the fact that used to seeing you guys with those tag team belts around your waist. And now, all of a sudden, here you are last few days in the unaccustomed role of challenger for the belt.
You know, I guess you could say that PG-13 is beltless. But, Dave, you liked it when PG was champion, right?
I sure did.
You people liked it when PG was champion, right? And you see, PG-13, we liked it when we were champion. Because, you see, when we crawl off into bed at night, we snuggle that little belt right up on our pillow, just go right to bed. Well, lately, man, my pillow's just all soft, Dave. It's just nothing there, man. Why? Because I'm beltless. But J.C. Ice has been beltless before. I've been womanless. I've been moneyless. I've been everything. But coming this week, J.C. Ice is fixing to get all that stuff back. Right, Wolf? You tell him, baby.
That's right. See what we got out here? We got a guy who calls himself the Gambler, and he comes out on a wrestling show wanting to play blackjack. He wants to play poker. And we got another guy, Brickhouse Brown, who ain't been heard from in the USWA in about 5 years. He could have been in jail. He could have been hiding out in Scudderfield. I don't know where he's been. But Brickhouse Brown and the Gambler, what you don't understand is you don't know PG-13 too well.
See, you don't know nothing about us. And I'm going to make a promise to you, and I'm going to make a promise to all these people, that the next time that you see PG-13 on this wrestling show, we're going to have them belts right back where they belong, and that's around our waist. 6 times USWA champions right here.
If there's a team that can do it, you're looking at them right there in PG-13. J.C. Ice and Wolfie D. They don't have the belts now, but I can tell you what, looking at the card, they are probably, they think that they are focused on getting the belts back this time around. Let's go to the ring right now for Corey and the introductions for this match.
Okay, Brother Dave, ready for a tag team action here in the ring. First introducing, making their way to the ring area, combined weight of 567 pounds from Jackson, Tennessee. Here are Lee and Billy Ray, the Hickerson. Their opponents today, 397 pounds, a combined weight from the Hood, J.C. Ice, Whoopie D, PG-13. One fall with a 10-minute time limit. Bill Rush is the official referee.
PG-13, what more can we say about them? They give away size. They're giving away size here today, but they are ready. They are confident every time they step in the ring. And once the final bell sounds, they're the ones that are going to have their hands raised in victory.
You know, Dave, I was thinking about it when you made the comment just a moment ago that they're focused, and if you ever saw a team that when they get focused on something there, that they got good things coming in store for them. Well, you are absolutely right. This team is the most determined team by all the rights. They shouldn't even be in the wrestling ring. You can't tell them that. Look at them. They got it going together.
They were talking about the tag champions, and here they are, Brickhouse Brown and the Gambler.
No, I hear Whoopie D and Jamie Dundee shooting off at the mouth out here. Let me tell you something right now. Ain't nothing around here shaking but the leaves on the trees. And the only reason they shaking is cause of the breeze. Sucker, let me tell you something. This ain't a figment of your imagination. We coming at y'all hard, beating all across the nation. Gambler, somebody better tell these people what they in store for when we get a hold of them the next time. Because we got these titles for as long as we want to. You understand that, Lance?
Well, I understand that they've held these titles on 6 different occasions. 6 times the tag champion.
They ain't wrestled me. They ain't wrestled me. That's all I can tell you.
That's what it's all about. It's getting a rematch, and we'll find out.
Hey, and first of all, these suckers ain't from no hood. I can take them down the Scutterfield, and they couldn't put 2 steps in the parking lot, perpetrating like they from the hood. The only one around here from the hood is me, Palm Place Projects in Winter Haven, Florida, sucker. And let me tell you something else right now, Gambler. You know what? Taking the belt from PG-13, we played biscuit.
2 count.
It was like sopping up a whole lot of gravy. Don't be worried about that, Lance.
Hey, we got a wrestling match.
You interviewing me right now. Why don't you get paid for something besides sitting here yakking at your mouth and interview some talent for a change? PG-13, ain't nothing to him, brother. We can take them anytime, any place, anywhere. We can whoop them at will, don't you understand? Out here playing politician, making a bunch of promises that they gonna have the scraps on TV the next time the people see it. The only thing the people gonna see next week is when they sit and get will cards down at Baptist Memorial Hospital somewhere, because they get me ticked off right now just thinking about it. They gonna get hurt real bad. They keep messing around.
Okay, Brickhouse and Gambler, we're looking forward to seeing the rematch when PG-13 gets their crack at trying to take those titles back. They lost them to the Gambler and Brickhouse Brown. Now they got to try to get them back. Big elbow puts Wolfie.
They in trouble right now. If these 2 guys give them all the time they can have right now, what do you think the Gambler and myself gonna do to them? Look at them in a world of trouble right now. They might not even win this match, and we might be forced to get them 2 boys in their title shot instead of PG-13. You might see an upset right here today.
That's entirely possible. We would never argue that. A couple of big guys, the Hickerson and Wolfie D and J.C. Ice, are in fact in trouble. And that seems to be the time when they get the best. And look at Wolfie take that big guy up. What do you think?
As good as I feel right now, you know, we might just grant anybody that wins this match a title shot right here. We might just make it like that. I don't know. I feel real good right now. But normally I don't grant title shots unless I'm getting paid in full with the contract. You understand what I'm saying?
J.C. Ice and Wolfie D starting to reassert themselves in there as the Hickerson are feeling that determination and the wrath from the hood. PG-13. They doubled up that time, and referee telling Wolfie, get out of here, 1, 2, 3.
How about it, Brick?
So they got lucky and won another match. But it wasn't Gambler, and it wasn't yours truly, Brickhouse.
It didn't look like luck to me either. It looked like talent.
You're the champions. J.C. Ice and Wolfie D say, hey, we don't have to wait. Why don't you jump in the ring? Let's see if we can't get a little added match in
Yeah,
there.
you said you might grant a title shot right here today. How about it?
To the winner. I heard you say it.
Hey, you hear what you want to hear. You know, because you're all decrepit in your seat now, and your hearing gone. They tell me that's the first thing to go. I ain't say nothing about a title shot, you understand? Now, don't be sitting up here perpetrating in front of these people. Now, PG-13, if you want a title shot right now, sucker, let me tell you right now, like I said, ain't nothing shaking around here but the leaves on the trees. And the only reason they shaking is because of the breeze. Gambler, let's go take these suckers out. We've beat them once, we can do it again.
Well, we must have a little handed match right here, Dave.
Yeah, but I still didn't hear Brickhouse Brown say if he was putting the titles on the line. Brick didn't agree to put the titles up. PG-13, I don't know if they realize that or not. Brickhouse Brown and the Gambler headed to the ring, but Brickhouse, he said earlier that he would grant him a title shot.
Hey, are you going to get in there and wrestle him for the titles or not? No, he wants to run his mouth. We got to get out of here. We'll be back. We can't stay.
All kind of action going on in the USWA. As always, we've got a big match coming up here in just a moment. But first, Dangerous Doug Gilbert has requested this time, and we grant him the interview. We try to give you all sides of a situation, and he has a big match coming up very soon against Brian Christopher.
You know, Dave Brown, I've been much happier out here before. Now, see, Brian Christopher, if the people here know that I do hate your guts, I hate you just like I hate everybody else that runs this stinking promotion, from Eddie Moreland to Randy Hales to people like Jerry Lawler, Bill Dundee. And the list can go on and on. See, Dave Brown, what I haven't heard anybody mention out here this morning is my good friend, Tommy Rich. Have you mentioned Tommy Rich?
No.
Well, see, there's a reason you hadn't, because everybody around here is biased. See, what everybody don't want to remember, Brian Christopher, I'm one of the guys that broke you in to professional wrestling about 3 years ago. You was just like myself. You was a winner. But I sat back there in the dressing room. Boy, you come out here, the little 10-year-old girls can holler. But what's sitting back in my dressing room and makes me real sick is my USWA heavyweight champion. See, boy, you're not that big of a winner, because Brian Lee is back there laughing every minute, shining my belt. Well, Brian Christopher, 2 years ago, right here at this TV station, I decided I wasn't going to take your big fat head. I wasn't going to take your big fat ego. So what I did, I walked right in the ring right up there, and I put this big fist right upside your head, saying this feud has went on for like 1.5 years. But Brian Christopher, this will more than likely be the last week that you will ever see me. So let me tell you what I'm going to say, Brian Christopher. This week, it's all changing. No matter if it's chains, if it's chairs, if it's tables, they've never seen Dangerous Doug Gilbert. And they've never seen Brian Christopher really hurt. But he will be carried out this week in the back of the ambulance. I'll promise you that, Dave Brown. For my brother, Tommy Rich, Brian Christopher, your career is over.
We'll find out about that. Doug Gilbert, come out here and talk. Doug Gilbert's tough, so is Brian Christopher. Here's Corey Macklin.
Okay, Dave Brown, we're ready for action right here in the middle of the ring. Oh, boy, look out. We're ready already. TD Steele against Doug Gilbert, and, hey, that's all the time we got for any kind of introduction there underway.
Doug Gilbert deciding to take matters into his own hands immediately, not even waiting for Corey to get the intros there. TD Steele, the victim, as Doug Gilbert jumped in quickly.
Corey having a little problem with the
all day.
Yeah, I'm telling you, they really have been on him about it. Doug Gilbert drops down with the right hand. TD Steele, the hard hat man. I'm taking a look at him. What else can I tell you, Doug? He DDT'd him again, right smack down into that mat. Doug Gilbert feeling nasty today. It must be because he's thinking of Brian Christopher. They sure don't love each other.
True, they don't. They have had some battles, and they got another one coming up this week. Boom. Oh, a big right hand by Doug Gilbert. He kind of had shoved the referee out of the way there. You better be careful. See what he did.
Went with a pile driver, Gilbert did.
Got the referee distracted so he could hit TD Steele with the pile driver. Now he puts one knee on the chest, count of two. It's over. Doug Gilbert, yeah, we see you got an easy victory. It won't be the same probably against Brian Christopher.
Well, now that he got the easy victory, why don't you get up and leave? No, he's going to stay there and mash his leg in. See if he can choke him a little while after he goes ahead and gets the win. Doug Gilbert, the winner, over TD Steele. And referee Bill Rush telling him to get out.
Brian Christopher,
Brian Christopher is not TD Steele or vice versa. So, yeah, okay. Well, we're going to find that out, I'm sure. Okay. TD Steele, pardon me, being attended to by referee Bill Rush. And here comes the always placid and calm downtown.
Hey, let me tell you something. I'm really upset, see, because last week, Miss Texas had a little conspiracy with all the top officials in the USWA, including you, Lance, because basically what it was, I was barred from ringside. Well, look at that camera, show everybody just how pretty you are and how innocent you are. I was barred from ringside. In fact, I tried to get into the arena. I was even barred by the security guards from the back door of the arena. You know why? Because Miss Texas had a conspiracy. What it was, she knows that if I'm there at ringside, none of her goody two-shoes friends can interfere in the match and do anything to this lovely young girl. But they had me barred, and naturally, PG-13 interfered in the match. 2 men and 1 goof, Miss Texas, ganged up on this young lady. Those 2 PG-13 beat her up, punched her out, and then held her while Miss Texas stripped her naked. Hey, are you okay?
Okay, no, but they held me and allowed her to cheat, because she cheated. I'm sick of it. She cheats all the time and tries to blame Bruno and gets him barred.
Yes, that's ridiculous. Now, wait, now who asked for her to come out here? This is my time.
The reason they barred you because you keep interfering in a match when she gets in there.
I've never interfered in my life,
Here's
man.
Miss
You're
Texas.
ridiculous. You're a goofball. I don't even like you.
You
Or
know,
you either,
oh,
idiot.
really, I don't like you either.
Well,
you know
good.
what, Bruno?
What?
I had nothing to do with you being banned from ringside, but I want you to be at ringside this week.
Well, I'll be there, don't you
Oh,
worry.
good. Well, good. Very good. Well, if you can be in her corner,
I'll be there.
then I'm going to get one of PG-13 to be in my corner.
No, you ain't.
Oh,
You ain't got
yes.
no managers
That's
like
fair.
you.
Yes.
What do you mean it's fair? I don't see their managers
Well,
like you.
you're over there with Karen. Why shouldn't she have somebody in her?
I'm a manager. I don't interfere. These guys came down and beat up this innocent young girl. Tell me something.
Bruno, if you interfere in my match, you're going to wind up getting your teeth kicked down your throat. You got it?
Let's leave it with that. Okay, hey, we got to get out of here. We'll take a break and be back.
The only thing
No.
that'll get knocked up is her head when she throws at me. I promise you that,
You
Michael.
just have to take care of it.
eating it. Stop paying.
Doug Gilbert was out here a little bit earlier. He was talking about Brian Christopher and how he was going to destroy Brian Christopher coming up this week in the match that they've got. And, you know, he goes in the ring and he starts talking about T.D. Seal as though he were Brian Christopher and all that. Well, I'm sure Brian Christopher has some other ideas about the entire situation. And we were hoping maybe to get him here for a comment or two about the upcoming match with Doug Gilbert as he has to step into the ring against him. Here he is right here. Too Sexy Brian Christopher. There he is right here. Brian Christopher. Brian, I'm sure you heard what Doug had to say, and I know you feel differently about it.
Dave, all these people got me fired up, and I ain't got long to talk because I got a big match scheduled. And you're right. I've seen everything out here today, and I heard a lot of people ranting and raving. I heard a lot of people screaming and hollering, and I saw Doug Gilbert out here spit flying out of his mouth. I heard him. Everything he said about me and the challenge he made. Well, I know why Doug Gilbert's so mad. It's because his good buddy, Tommy Wildfire Rich, is no longer with us. Tommy Wildfire Rich is bye-bye. He's gone. Because last week, their little plan backfired. He brought some bug spray down there, tried to blind me, but instead, it got in Tommy Rich's eyes. And now Doug Gilbert's hot under the collar. Well, Doug Gilbert, I've been trying to get a match, trying to get my title back from Brian Lee, but he won't give me a return title shot. Doug Gilbert has issued the challenge, and I've accepted it. Well, Doug Gilbert, I guess you've forgotten. I guess that little pea brain in there doesn't have too much of a memory bank. Because if you remember, I am the man that shaved your head bald, my friend. I'm the man that had you sit right there in the middle of the ring in the Mid-South Coliseum, and I shaved every little hair off your head. And if that's what it takes, Doug Gilbert, if that's what it takes, that's what I'll do again. And when I do that, then I will be the last man laughing.
Brian Christopher not backing up a step from the match with Doug Gilbert coming up. Right now, here's Corey.
Okay, ready for action now. A single bout of one fall with a 10-minute time limit. Coming up now. First introducing at 220 pounds, one half of the USWA Tag Team Champions from Miami, Florida, Brickhouse Brown. His opponent, 222 pounds, from Memphis, Tennessee, here is Too Sexy Brian Christopher. One fall, a 10-minute time limit. Bill Rush is the referee for this one. Lance and Dave, this should be a great bout.
Boy, have we had some great action already today on USWA Action. This match could be booked at any arena in the country. We got it for you right here, right now.
Brickhouse Brian Christopher. As Christopher takes him over the top, nails him with the right hand. The referee on him about the use of the fist. Christopher slams his head into the top turnbuckle all the way diagonally across, and it's reversed again, and Brickhouse finally hits it as a knee comes to the midsection on Christopher. And Brickhouse Brown can, in fact, get in there with the best of them any time.
He just caught him with a little shot up under the chin. Reverse neck breaker. Boy, you don't see that move too much anymore, but it's effective, and Brickhouse Brown proved it right there. Brian Christopher back on his feet, but he's slowed down. Brickhouse Brown nails him again. Over on the ropes. He's using it to choke Brian. Flipped him right back in the ring. Brickhouse Brown, primarily recently a tag team wrestler, but he can wrestle as a single too, and I think you're seeing some of that right now.
Brickhouse is just one of those natural athletes. He's always kept himself in excellent condition, so he, in fact, has the tools to be able to work it with anybody that he's in there with. Brian Christopher is trying to show him that does not include the caliber of Too Sexy himself. So he returns it, puts him over the rope, Dave, and he chokes him. Here he goes. Pow! I mean, right up outside the jaw.
Yep, you want to choke Brian Christopher, you better watch yourself, because he's going to be coming back to repay the favor he did right there. He went in too quickly, made a mistake. Brickhouse Brown pulled up the boot. Knocks it down here. Number 1, 2. Ooh, a count of 2, very close to a count out. Brian Christopher found himself lying on the mat, and Brickhouse Brown trying to keep things going his way.
He cocks that right hand and nails Christopher, and here comes Brian back. Down on the mat, elbow follows 1, 2. That's 2 counts on Brian Christopher and Brickhouse. I think it would be a surprise to all the USWA fans, as if a guy who has held the USWA heavyweight title the way Christopher has was defeated right here on television, and believe me, it can happen. A backbreaker, Christopher thrown down on the mat. Davey may have him this time. Count of 1, 2, and again, Christopher kicks out.
Brian out just at the count of 2. Brian staggered a little bit. Brickhouse Brown has taken control of this match. That's dangerous for Brian, because Brickhouse has the confidence now that he can win this thing. There's an uppercut by Brian Christopher coming off the ropes. That may go a ways toward Brian taking control again. Brickhouse back into the rope. Christopher whips him across the way. Brickhouse catches the boot, but Brian smacked him as he came around with the other foot. Brickhouse Brown had to be surprised by the move, but it doesn't stop him. Brickhouse again in control momentarily anyway. This time Brian comes with a kick and covers. 1, 2, really picked him up. That's not
smart.
Here's the gambler jumps in. Well, that's going to be a victory for Brian anyway, due to interference from outside. Oh, look out. Doug Gilbert is in. He's got a can of something in his, some sort of spray can. He's done it before, and that's backfired, and it cost Tommy Rich being around as Doug Gilbert sprayed something at Brian, who ducked, and he hit Tommy Rich with it. What's he got? He's got a pair of scissors. Brian earlier talking about cutting Doug Gilbert's hair. Here comes PG-13, and all of a sudden the gambler decides time to leave, as does Brickhouse Brown, and there goes Doug Gilbert grabbing those scissors and hopefully getting out of here.
I told you last, Russell, it's gonna be for eye. I'm gonna put your eye right out of your head, Brian Christopher. That's a promise from me to you.
Boy, I'll tell you what, that Doug Gilbert, we're going to take a break. We've got more main event coming up in a moment.
Okay, coming up now, it's time for our main event today on USWA Championship Wrestling. Here today, 1 fall, 10-minute time limit up to the expiration of our time for USWA Wrestling. 239 pounds, making his way to the ring area from Hollywood, California. Here is Gorgeous George III. Today on USWA Wrestling, to the expiration of our time, Bill Rush is referee, Lance and Dave. We are ready for it. Okay.
The King and Gorgeous George III, each sending their warm-up out of the ring. And here we go. Bell sounds, we're into action. King comes out with both fists doubled, ready to go after Gorgeous George III any way he has to. Gorgeous George III backed into the corner to slow the action down. Not a lot of time remaining for this particular match.
You know, he reminds me, there's 2 guys, obviously his grandfather, Gorgeous George, and Adrian Street.
Oh, yeah.
Who was another guy that you would look at and you would think, a wrestler? Give me a break.
Yeah.
Well, boy, this guy here, GG3, he can flat wrestle, and that will set you off. What you do is you look at him and you think you got a pushover. Long way from it. He can flat wrestle.
He's got the king now. Brings that upper arm up. Lawler on the mat. Count of 2. Only a 2 count. Lawler able to break out of it. Ooh, right hand. He smacked him with it. Off the rope. Lawler unceremoniously dumped in the middle of the ring. Gorgeous George third again with a cover. Count of 2 again. This time Lawler quickly breaks out of it before the referee can get that 3 count on the way.
GG3 with that European uppercut, they call it. It's a forearm uppercut. Grabs the arm of Lawler, a whip straight across the ring. Goes for the backdrop. He got a sunset flip. 1, 2, 3. Lawler got it.
So we didn't have a lot of time for that match. King didn't need a lot of time. He set him up. Got the count of 3, and the King has the victory. We'll be back with more from the USWA in just a moment.
Best idea that we've had is cancel some tapes and get back in here. Gorgeous George was hey, I tell you, he does not belong out here, but that never stopped him before.
Yeah.
Don't stop. Okay.
I've been sprayed every member of this audience. I sprayed the referee. I've sprayed you 2 goofs. I would like to go up there and spray that Jerry Lawler, because everybody out here stinks. Wait a minute, I've got a manager's license with the USWA. If I want to come out here with George, my friend, my associate, I can do it. Now, you want me to spray some more on you?
I think we've had enough spraying. Why don't you just stay out of the action and let us get this fall underway.
Second fall, Gorgeous George III, Jerry the King Lawler. Gorgeous George is screaming so loud about having the fall stolen from him. And we were talking about what an excellent wrestler. He was giving Lawler a hard way to go, but Lawler with a beautiful reversal came over in that sunset flip type move. They got a 1, 2, 3 on George before George really even knew what happened. No, it can't happen. So we've got a second fall of action here, and although we're going to have to cancel some of the tapes, we've always got those in the can. We'll show them again later.
You're exactly right. Congratulations for the people that make those decisions to bring the fans more wrestling action. I'm all for it. Now look at Bruno holding Lawler from outside.
There he is. There he was, Jerry. He's the one that had a hold. Certainly he was. The referee couldn't see it. But we could sure see it from over here, Dave.
All you fans could see it at home. Had a great shot of it. Lawler, Gorgeous George III, back to the center of the ring. There's the test of strength. And going. Lawler wins the test. He passes the test, and Gorgeous George III has just failed out.
Referee Bill Rush giving the King. Bruno, what was this?
Bruno passed something Gorgeous George III. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was a chain, brass nuts, or what it was, but Bruno handed him something, and George put it in his tight. There, he handed it back outside.
Down to the pocket it goes of downtown Bruno, while the referee Bill Rush comes over and checks him out. And the audience trying to tell Jerry now exactly what happened, and once again, it's fed back up into the hand of GG3. Oh, gee, I just proved it.
Oh, yeah.
Son of a gun. That downtown Bruno. What a sneaky cuss he is. And now Gorgeous George passes the whatever it is. It looks like a bar of lead or steel bar of some kind. Standing side headlock. The King holding on. Gorgeous George. And he's trying to motion for Bruno to come give it to him again. He was doing all that motioning behind. There he is. And Lawler drives him away from the rope, so there's no way he could hand it off. No, I don't have anything.
Not a thing. No person put it in his pocket. The referee turned over that way. Lawler had a bit of a disadvantage, had a distinct disadvantage. He's going against a tough wrestler, Gorgeous George III, and now he's got Bruno wandering all around the ring, passing a foreign object back and forth to Gorgeous George III. That spray can, yep, the spray can is still over near the corner. That's dangerous, too. Lawler's having to concentrate on a lot more things than he would like to this time around.
Sure enough, and you don't need to have your attention somewhere else when you're in there with somebody like Gorgeous George III, because he can do it to you. He just did it to Lawler while the referee turned to check Bruno out. He grabbed the hair and jerked him right off his feet, and referee Bill Rush counted and made him get up. Let go of it. And they got sprayed to get.
Oh boy, it is kind of tough, man. Bruno's calling the referee over for conversation. I have no idea what he was telling him. Lawler, the strap comes down. He goes after Gorgeous George III back in the corner. Now referee Bill Rush backing him away. Meanwhile, Bruno handed whatever that foreign object is to Gorgeous George III. Lawler's down, count at 2. At the 2 count, Miss Texas comes in and tells the referee what happened. She stopped him at the 2 count and said he's got something that Bruno gave him. Of course, Miss Texas and Bruno and Karen. One, two, he got it! Kind of a sunset moonset.
Gotta tell you one thing, these guys never learn. They never learn. You gotta keep your eyes on the king. He has won more matches by using his head than he has his muscles. He's used his muscles plenty, but he is a thinking man. And here is Gorgeous George facing away from the ring. He gets right in behind him, rolls him up, and gets the 1, 2, 3.
And really, downtown Bruno kind of got an assist in costing him that match as George was concentrating on Bruno. And yet, so Bruno now is praising him, how great a wrestler he is, and all of that. Now Bruno and George. Bruno just didn't work out, did it, huh?
I'll say something to you, Dave. This man had Jerry Lawler beat. If you ask me, this is a true king right here. Right. Gorgeous George III. Wow. See, you're over here with a big mouth. You and his Lance Russell. Wow. Hey, referee, look at this. Look at that. Jerry Lawler had a foreign object that entire match.
Well, let me tell you what. We saw exactly what happened. The fans saw what happened, and maybe he had him beat. But he was paying attention to you, and he lost concentration on the king, and that's how the match was.
What about that idiot Miss Texas? You don't see Uptown Karen interfering in any matches. The only reason she came out, because she's nothing but a meddlesome, troublesome, worrisome, W-I-T-C-H.
She was just telling the referee what she saw. That's enough. That's the end of that interview. You guys can see it your own way. We know what happened. And, Bruno, if you hadn't been out here trying to manage this time around, Gorgeous George might have had a different situation. I doubt it. I think Jerry Lawler would have found a way to beat him anyway.
I wonder if he ever wondered that maybe she came out here because she doesn't like downtown Bruno, and she doesn't want to see him pulling any of that crummy stuff of passing things off like that. Boy, what a day, huh?
Yes.
Son of a gun. Let me reaffirm that one as the second fall, as well as the first fall. 2 straight for the king over Gorgeous George III. Well, we had a dandy of a day. Scott Studd ended up getting a count-out victory over Brian Lee because Brian Lee didn't get back in the ring when the referee restarted.
Brian Lee claims he was cheated. Brian Lee simply walked out of here when the referee said restart the match, so he started the 10 count. And Brian Lee was counted out. Scott Studd gets the win. Mark it down in the record books. It counts.
PG-13 gets a victory over the Hickersons, and it was Doug Gilbert with a victory over T.D. Steele. And additionally, it was Brian Christopher ended up with a victory over Brickhouse Brown.
He had Brickhouse beat anyway, but then all of a sudden, here comes the Gambler into the ring. And when the Gambler steps in, that's disqualification. Give the victory to Brian. A tough day for Brian, but he gets the win.
We've had the lid shut down. We got to go. For Corey Macklin, Dave Brown, Lance Russell saying bye-bye, everybody.
The announcers on this program are selected and paid by parties other than this station, namely the promoters of USWA Championship Wrestling.